Good afternoon to the East Coast. Good morning to the West Coast. I'm Boomer Jim,
I am Gen X Deontay.
and together we are going to get right to the point and have a back and forth conversation.
Yes, and when we say white, we really mean white. And when we say black, we still mean white.
I tell you what, on this one, it's going to be a diatribe more than anything else.
Yeah, I know you're actually infuriated about some of the week's developments. It's going to be really interesting.
Well, your boy Trump, I mean, yeah, we both admit that he is a marketing genius, or at least has been, but what the hell was he thinking yesterday?
I don't think it's just yesterday. I think it's really for the past decade, to be honest with you.
No, especially yesterday. I mean, he's got the border deal. The GOP, they've got the border deal ready to go, make everybody happy, score huge points. And Trump says, don't do it so I have something to run on in November.
Wow.
Everybody's been raising hell about the southern border for years. And they finally are going to do something, and he throws it away. I mean, you just linked that story to me about 700,000 trucks going down to the border. That's how upset people are.
I think they're more ticked off at Joe Biden because of his ineptitude and like leaving us completely unprotected.
Well, yes, that's true. But that's what I'm saying. The Senate is ready to put a deal together, and then McConnell says, oh no, we're not going to do it now because Trump wants us to wait until he's president.
Yeah.
You moron. He just threw the GOP under the bus. I mean, and it's the same damn thing he did in 2022 for the midterms. By all rights, the Republicans should have picked up 20 or 25 seats in the House. At least. They should have picked up 4, maybe 5 seats in the Senate. Had nice, good majorities in both. And what happened? They were lucky to get 4 extra seats in the House. And in fact, they didn't even pick up anything in the Senate. I think they lost a seat.
It's
And
embarrassing.
why? Because Trump backed all these uh, uh, religious right evangelicals who ran on a single issue. They didn't run on the economy. They didn't run on the border. They ran on what? Abortion.
Yeah.
That's it. And they lost big time. And now he's doing the same damn thing. He, the, the GOP is in place to have huge wins in November, maybe even re-elect Trump. And he just threw it away.
I think Trump is dynamic enough among his base that there's no way in heck that he really threw anything away. He's the kind of guy that his supporters they actually make excuses for him.
You're right. He didn't lose anyone on his base. What he lost was all the independents.
Mm,
He lost the independents and people in the middle like me.
yeah. Well, I tell you what, the blonde bombshell says that every election year becomes a soap opera, and I would have to agree with that. Especially when you look at this new element of him attacking Nikki Haley. Does he attack her because he feels that she's a legitimate threat, or because that's just sport for him at this point?
I think it's because it just works. I mean, oh, well, she could be a threat. She actually could be. It's going to be curious to see what she does in South Carolina. She did. She actually did relatively decent in New Hampshire. She lost by 10 points,
Wow.
but she should have lost by a lot more.
Mm, yeah. Well, I tell you one thing, man. When it comes to who's going to be the next president, the fact is we have Trump, we have Biden, and even if it's Nikki Haley, either way, it's going to end up being an absolute garbage-a-thon, because there's nobody anymore that can run the country with any type of compassion for people, and also with the type of relevance you need to have, amongst both the Democratic and Republican parties. I mean, there's no way that either one of those people can really do it in a very competent way. We're
We'll
dealing.
see. I know. And if let's suppose that Trump runs and wins, fine. The Democrats are going to be at his heels, tearing him down and attacking every single day. There'll be no way in hell he can get anything done. If Biden runs and wins, I mean, we've got a senile old man up there. We've got somebody who clearly is having mental problems, who's mentally incapacitated. You know he's not in charge.
Are we supposed to be talking about nursing home people like this? I think Joe Biden should be in hospice right about now. I really do. I don't think we
I
should be.
don't know. I don't know about hospice, but considering the jokes that went around when he visited with the Pope, he probably ought to be in diapers.
Well, I tell you what, the blonde bombshell says that Nikki Haley is definitely a threat to Trump, but because Trump is famous for belittling women, that may or may not take place. She also says that she would like to see Trump win with Michelle Obama as vice president.
Oh, um, what's the word I'm looking for?
Negro?
Short word. No,
As either
no.
way, it's N word. You were looking for the N word, Jim. No.
Actually, who I wouldn't mind seeing him pick for VP is Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know about that.
You could do a lot worse.
No, I think we are better off having 2011 Charlie Sheen in the White House.
Yeah.
That was the
No,
best.
the hell of it is yesterday, Trump's in court. He loses that civil suit. Well, he was found liable a few months ago. Yesterday was the penalty phase. They hit him for a total of $83.3 million in damages. $65 million of that was punitive damages. Now, that does not hurt him. All that did was probably add another 10,000 votes or so. Because no, everything that the Democrats do to Trump, everyone thinks is all politically motivated. That is rigged.
Yeah.
All it does is it comes back and bites the Democrats on the butt every single time.
Well,
But
first and foremost, the 83.3 million, what exactly was that for? Did he like molest somebody or something?
okay, what's her name? Accused him of defaming her, telling
Rosemary.
lies about her. But okay, she accused Trump of raping her, and he said no, and she's lying. I've never met her. But, I mean, just and the fact that she did it just before the, I believe it was just before the 2020 election. She said this in 2020, a couple of months before the election. I mean, yeah, you gotta wonder, was she coming forward at that time? Why did she wait over 20 years to come forward with this?
Yeah. I mean,
If nothing else, why didn't she come forward in 2016?
yeah. Maybe he raped her. Well, I don't know. When did he say that when did she say that he raped her?
Well, that's in 2020. I mean, she made the accusation in 2020, but
Yeah.
she said that he did it back in the, it was either 80s or 90s.
Wow. They didn't even charge
Yeah.
Bill Cosby that much. Like all the raping that Dr. Huxtable did, they didn't even charge him that much.
Well, it's all politics. I mean, I, but even setting aside the civil suit, I don't think any rational, reasonable person is going to say that you got to be suspicious of all these lawsuits, or especially these criminal cases coming forward, being hit one after another, trying to knock him down. There's got to be some politics in there.
I think Trump is he's going to win. He's going to dominate. He's probably going to get at least 99% of the popular vote. Um,
Yeah.
and I really believe that he is a steamrolling engine right now. And if you look at even what Melanie said that Joe Biden is wearing diapers, and then she says that just before the election, when you turn the lights off, all the critters come out. And I think that's fair to say because, like I said, remember in All in the Family when they said we can use a man like Herbert Hoover again? Well, I tell you what, we can use a vacuum cleaner in the White House. Like a Hoover vacuum cleaner would be better than these clowns.
Actually, it's Teddy Roosevelt who I'd like to see, but yeah, we need somebody strong in there. What we don't need Trump. We don't need Biden.
Yeah,
And unfortunately, that's going to be who we get. It looks like.
the blonde bombshell says that we're headed for a civil war. What do you think about that?
Um, Not yet. Not yet. Depends on what happens in November.
Oh, jeez. I don't know,
I
man.
mean, I wouldn't rule it out, but no, actually, I'd be surprised. I really would. We're not going to see a civil war, but I think we're going to see people on the right learn the lessons that were being taught by people on the left. Where in the summer of 2020, with all of those riots and demonstrations throughout the country, I mean, an outright rebellion and insurrection in Portland, where they just took over a police station and city blocks, whole blocks. The people on the right are learning the lesson from Dr. King. Violence is the language of people who are not being listened to.
Wow. No, that's true. Not because nobody listened to O.J. Simpson. You're right. That's why he sort of resorted to that. But I will tell you this, man. Who would have ever thought that 2020 would have a disaster that defines the year? And I'm not talking about COVID. I'm talking about the election of Biden. And I'm the one
Yeah.
that was actually rooting for Biden because I wanted Trump to be taken to the cleaners. But as you can see, I've since come to realize that Trump is the ultimate genius. He is literally the he's a Teflon guy, Teflon Don, literally.
Yeah. I'll give credit where it's due. I mean, you have to. You can't deny success.
Yeah,
But that doesn't mean you have to like it.
yeah. Well, I will tell you this, man. I think the best thing that could possibly happen is that someone becomes president by default. Like somehow Trump would be unable to be president. Maybe he's put in cuffs, and somehow Biden, has to be taken to a home. And then, who would be the next in line? Is that going to be Kamala? Because that would be a disaster.
Well, yeah, actually, that's an interesting thing. Let's talk about Trump in that on that score just for a moment. The Supreme Court is getting ready to rule on the 13th Amendment question They're going to hear oral arguments on February 8th, I believe. Now, there's no way in hell that that decision or that ruling in Colorado is going to stand up. Absolutely no way. Maine and other states have put their rulings on hold until the Supreme Court rules. And where all these states are making their mistake, they're trying to keep Trump off the primary ballot.
Mm.
And quite simple, primaries have nothing to do with government elections. They are party elections. They are private elections.
Yeah.
He's not running for president in the primary. He is running for a party's nomination. And so I think the Supreme Court is going to say the question is not mature yet. We haven't reached that point. He's not actually on the ballot in November yet. It's only if he wins the party nomination and then they file for him to run for president in the general election. Now you can raise the question: is he disqualified? Should he be disqualified?
Well, I'm glad you said all that because you got to say it a little bit louder for the people in the back. Even though I believe it's a foregone conclusion, it still does take all that red tape. You're right.
But that's what's going to happen. So we're going to come up to, I guess, June or July, whenever the RNC has their convention. They're going to nominate Trump, barring some criminal conviction, which isn't going to happen before then.
Hmm.
No, any criminal conviction like Georgia or elsewhere, it's going to happen after he actually gets nominated.
Okay, well, I have an experiment. I want you to make a case for why Biden would be the best president going forward for this country, and then flip around and make a case for why Trump would be the best president in this country going forward.
I'm sorry, Deontay. I can't do it for either one of them. Besides, I don't want to go to hell for lying.
I know it is difficult. It's very difficult. And if we can bring back anybody that's still living as president who is not black, I think that I would bring back our good friend, Bill Clinton.
I was going to say you would. I know you're going to say Bill Clinton.
Well, Bill Clinton was really everything that you could ever hope for a president. He was promiscuous. He was slippery. He was high on drugs. He was well spoken. He was a man of the people. He was just like a typical husband. No sex with his wife. I mean, I don't know what the hell he did for the country, but I mean, no, actually, we had a great situation in the country without, with him in it.
Well, yeah, but he screwed us over with China when he made China a full partner in the World Trade Organization.
True, but you got to remember, it was under Clinton that the internet became widespread popular. It had its early beginnings. You got to think about it. Amazon started under Clinton. So did Netflix.
Well, I'll tell you what drove the internet back then in the 90s. That was online poker and porn.
Exactly.
Everyone wanted to use credit cards online. That's those two industries. That's what drove the internet. Absolutely. What we have today would not have been possible without online porn and online poker.
And who do you think was pushing that forward? Clinton. He was the one pushing online porn. And as far as poker, he poked her all in the Oval Office. He's the one that reinvented the children's game, Follow the Leader, and he turned it into Swallow the Leader. I mean, come on.
Oh, that was bad. That was bad, even for you, Deontay.
Listen, Beverly Hills 90210 came out. It came out in 1990, which was under the Bush administration. Bush won, but it hit its stride in the Clinton years. So we have to say that Clinton gave this country so much. He gave us gas for 99 cents in 1993 when he took office.
Yep. Hey, how about them Cleveland Browns? What happened to your boys?
The Cleveland Browns. You know what? The Browns will be better off just getting Girl Scout. You know the brownies, the Girl Scouts. They'll be better
Yeah.
off getting them. Like those brownies would do better on the field than these dudes. But you know, in all fairness, give them credit. They lost like 17 of their best players, and they still managed to stink up the joint and still get cheers for it.
Yeah, and I can't really talk. My Cowboys, they choked big time.
That's embarrassing.
So who do you think's going to go on to Super Bowl?
I think we both know. It's pretty obvious at this point. Starts with
Frickin' nine. It's going to be the frickin' Niners.
no. It starts with a B.
You think?
It's pretty
Yeah, but well, yeah, okay, Baltimore, but on the national, I mean, who's going to go in? You got the frickin' Niners or Detroit.
yeah.
Who?
Come on. Come on. You know, I haven't had much faith in the 49ers since Steve Young left. You know.
Well, as you know, I grew up in L.A., and
Okay.
so it's just automatic that I hate any San Francisco team.
Right.
Period.
I'll tell you what, they're definitely not the San Francisco treat, but they are definitely going to have their problems. But it wouldn't surprise me. It's a wide open field now that Brady is a horse manure. You know.
Yep, that's probably the best thing about Super Bowl now. We don't have to worry about watching Tom Brady.
It's going to be okay though. So let me ask you this: who do you think is going to be the actual nominee for Democrats? Because I don't know that Biden has strong enough to do it.
Well, I've been saying it all along that, especially living here in Vegas, anytime you see big money betting on what looks like a sucker bet, you got to ask yourself, okay, who's the real sucker here? Why isn't that a sucker bet? And what I think is going to happen is that just a few days before the Democrat convention, Biden is going to say, "Okay, I can't run after all. I'm physically not able to. I'm sick, or if we're good at a party, I'm going to step aside." They're going to throw the convention open for a floor fight, more what's called a floor fight, and I think we're going to see Governor Newsom.
Jeez, that would be catastrophic.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's bad enough what he's done to California. Just imagine what he can do to mess up a whole country.
Oh my gosh! I think you should play that video, the one with the migrant about the 700,000 trucks.
Oh,
I got to see that.
okay. Let's see if I can bring this up. Got to swap screens around here a tiny bit, so just bear with me.
Yeah, because I really think you know what? I've never felt so unsafe in this country. Ever since Charles Manson died, I felt like everything was back to normal. But now with all these migrants,
Oh
I'm starting
man.
to think I'm starting to think that Joe is actually trying to do population control with this because he knows that they are dangerous.
Okay, tell me whether or not you got
Oh,
audio.
that's a different one. That's the Kennedy and
Oh,
Mayorkas.
oh, that's the second one.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's okay. These things happen.
Oh, okay, I see it.
Yeah, and I don't hear
Yeah.
sound on this one anyways.
Oh, okay. In that case, we'll just do this.
Okay, we'll go.
Let me try this again. I mean, I can screw up anything.
It's okay. Screwing up sometimes is a good thing.
Yeah, I'm good at screwing things up. Try a different way to share. I always get confused about which way to do this.
It's okay. Listen, when I was your age, I was the same way.
Yeah. Uh, oh, that's the problem about having the wrong windows up.
It's okay. Kennedy didn't have any windows up, so you're fine. Here we go.
See if we get audio this time.
Greg Abbott refuses
We got
to
it.
give up control of the Texas border to federal
Okay.
officials, saying the state will not give federal agents full access to Shelby Park today. That ignores a deadline
Is that
set by
Biden?
the Biden administration,
Oh.
which is
No.
today. Instead, Abbott is installing more razor wire following a Supreme Court order allowing federal agents to start removing it. Texas now receiving support from 25 Republican governors, all backing Governor Abbott's border actions, blaming the Biden administration for the crisis. Former President Trump wants to take it one step further. He's now encouraging these states to deploy their National Guard troops to Texas to prevent illegal crossings. Trump's vowing that if he becomes president again, he's going to work with Abbott to seal the border, writing, quote, Biden says let in those should not get comfortable because they will be going home. I want to bring in Texas Congressman Lieutenant Colonel Keith Self.
Okay, I'm going to stop it here because we're coming up on a hard stop today, since you said that you have to leave on time because you're going to be nice to the blonde bombshell.
Yeah, she's nice to me.
No, the governor of Nebraska, what's her name? She's offered to drive razor wire down to Texas herself.
Yikes.
Yeah. No, but this whole question, this legal fight between the federal government and Texas, people are looking at it saying, wait a minute, the Constitution is clearly on the side of the federal government with the supremacy clause, except for one thing. Texas isn't arguing on the supremacy clause. They're arguing on Article 1, Section 10, saying that they have the constitutional right to defend their borders if the federal government doesn't do it for them.
Wow.
And so, yeah, they're saying this constitutes an invasion. Biden and his administration isn't doing jack to stop it. And so they have no choice but to stop it themselves. And that's the exact same reasoning that they're trying to use, that they're threatening to use to kick Biden off the November ballot, is that he has given aid and comfort to an enemy, and therefore is not qualified to be president. And that's the second half of the 13th Amendment that people are forgetting about. They're going after Trump for the first half. He took part in an insurrection, allegedly. And you have to say allegedly at this point. But they're forgetting that failure to perform, something that you would know all about, is also a grounds for being disqualified.
Yeah. And, Melanie says, Article 1, Section 10, good to know.
Yeah, that's the argument that they're using. So,
yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing these decisions, to see how it comes down.
I don't know if I'm looking forward to it or I'm like covering my face right now. I don't know which one it is. Like.
Well, it's like a train wreck. You can't look away. You have to watch what's going to happen.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of scary, man. I never thought that the United States would be a place to be fearful of. It's embarrassing. What I just want to go back to the days of Tom and Jerry.
Yeah. Saturday morning cartoons in the 50s. Those are good days.
Yeah,
Right, Melanie?
yeah. I tell you, I tell you what, man. Like back in the 50s, I felt more at peace. As long as I wasn't in the South, I felt more at peace. You know. But whenever I went down south, I realized that things were not created equal.
No, actually, I'm going to give Clinton some credit there, too. I mean, during the 80s, or especially in the 90s, I do think that we were making some real progress, starting to get things calmed down a bit more understanding. I know that Clinton had been referred to as the first black president and everything he was doing.
Yeah, but then he got away.
And
He got away with a crime, and then they said, oh, "Okay, he's the white president."
everything's been thrown away. All right, Deontay, I'm going to let you get out of here. Let's wrap it.
Yeah,
Melanie,
we have to shout out Melanie for liking Tom and Jerry as well as Mighty Mouse. And of course, I got to always shout out the Blonde Bombshell.
yep. Oh, and don't forget George Reeves as Superman.
Yes,
Truth, justice, and the American way.
and don't forget Underdog.
Yeah, I suppose. Although I did like Rocky and Bullwinkle better. And the Roadrunner. Come on. Well, you got to love the Coyote. You really do.
Yeah, I guess somebody has to love him.
Once again, this will be up a bit later for viewing. Go to YouTube, hit the like and subscribe. Help out Deontay's retirement fund. We'll see you again next week, 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. And I'm certain I'll be able to go off on a rant with something new. It shouldn't be any problem.
And I got something special for next week because it's going to be our first episode in the month of Black History Month. So
yes,
I got something special. And I will, and just so you know, I will be sponsored by Kentucky Fried Chicken and Colt 45.
Don't forget to have some watermelon handy.
Oh, oh my God, what a supremacist. Holy smokes.
Yeah. Okay. Deontay, it's good talking as always. We'll see you all later. We're out of here.
All right, man.